Today is the 22nd Sunday of Ordinary Time, Cycle C. The book of Sirach, considered a book of wisdom, gives the loving advice of a good father. My child, conduct your affairs with humility, and you will be loved more than the giver of gifts. Kindness flows from humility. I am sure that each of us can remember acts of kindness and the persons who were kind to us. I'd like you to pause for a moment and try and remember what were the most remarkable acts of kindness you have received, and who were the persons who bestowed those acts upon you. In Jesus' time, the culture was more class conscious and one of honor and shame. While the Pharisees were observing Jesus closely at the dinner, he was doing the same to them. He noticed their habit of seeking honor by selecting important seats. Jesus' advice to them was to be careful when you chose a place of honor. Someone more important than you may displace you later. One ought to assume the lowest place of honor, and the host will take you up to a more important one. If you are taking a lowly place with the expectation of being asked to move to a more important place, this is false humility. What if the host is so busy that he does not notice you sitting in a lowly place? Can you still enjoy the dinner at that place? The more relevant lesson for us today is to recognize our equality as we gather around the table of the Lord at the Mass. Equality around the table of the Lord. In Jesus' time, one would only invite people to one's party if that person had the ability to invite you to his party. Can you invite people who are poor and lowly, who can offer you nothing in return, must an invitation to one of their parties? On your birthday, our birthday, let's say, we normally expect to receive gifts. However, some people help the poor and the needy on their birthday as a thanksgiving to God. Think of how you can maybe do the same. Your birthday is always about receiving. It's joy in giving. Maybe helping the poor and the needy will be a wonderful way to celebrate your birthday. To be humble means to be down to earth, modest, or meek. No task should be considered too lowly for you. Humility is a voluntary posture and not one taken out of fear. The opposite of being humble is to be arrogant, egoistic, prideful, pompous, conceited, or having a false sense of entitlement. You need to know that in the eyes of God, you are loved and you are a special child, regardless if you have challenges. If you do not feel good about yourself, if you do not feel love, you will tend to obsess about your outer image to the world. You will suffer from low self-esteem and will not be able to admit your errors or apologize in public. Why do some people feel superior to others? Well, some people have a false sense of self, like a boxer who thinks he's the next Muhammad Ali when he is not. Reality will correct him when a minor opponent knocks him out. Authority over others, however, does not give you the right to disrespect their dignity as fellow human beings. If you have more money than others, your responsibility is to share your blessings. If you are more intelligent than others, you need to recognize that the blessing you have and intelligence is a two-sided sword, which can be used for good or for bad to help or to harm others. If you do not recognize God as the source of our good fortune, you can become arrogant, conceited, and condescending when you communicate with others. If you are very intelligent, unless you recognize your intelligence, blessings came from God, you will treat others as stupid rather than ordinary. Think of it. If you are very, very smart, you believe everybody is like you, and therefore you tend to think people with ordinary intelligence are stupid. In this case, when you recognize your superior intelligence, it's not a Lord at all. You're called to be patient and understanding with co-workers and to be a good teacher rather than a harsh critic. Humility is required for holiness. If you're humble, you're able to give up your rights for the sake of Christian charity. For example, if your music is not vulgar, annoys your grandmother, do not play when she is around. Sometimes, not always, you may choose to do something which you don't normally do with others. But this time you do it because the other enjoys it. Or and because you love that person. Maximilian Pauli took the place of a father who was about to be executed so as to preserve the family of the man to be executed. Without humility, we can never submit our lives to the will of God. The ways of God are not the ways of men. God often asks us to do what appears unreasonable. Abraham and Sarah finally had a son in their old age. And then God asked Abraham to sacrifice a boy. Mary was asked to bear a child before her wedding night. And that could have ruined her marriage to Joseph and caused public ridicule for being pregnant not by her husband. Without humility, we will never be able to say what Mary said to the angel. I am the handmaid of the Lord. Be it done unto me according to your word.